These days, pretty much every leader I talk to feels overworked in some way. They have an unending list of tasks and they feel like this hamster on a wheel that just never gets anywhere. This is true for CEOs and this is true for frontline leaders. Nobody is immune. And I recently worked with a senior leader who was feeling very much this way. He was frustrated that he couldn't have the impact he wanted to make and that the company needed. He was working too much, not accomplishing enough, and it was starting to get to the point where the success of the organization was on the line. And quite frankly, so was his own well-being. So to get some data, I had him do a time study for a few weeks. And just like every single time somebody completes this exercise, we found that he was spending several hours a week being overpaid. And by this I mean he was doing things that someone else could and should be doing. Now, as leaders, we do this for a lot of different reasons. It might be because we get a sense of satisfaction by actually finishing something concrete and knowing that we did a good job. I can spend hours building a beautiful PowerPoint slide. It could be because others are overworked or we fear that they're going to push back in a way that we'd rather avoid. And if we're honest with ourselves, most often it's because we don't want to lose control. And this is a habit that gets built and it is a difficult behavior to change, but there's a question I use that helps people to shift the mindset a little bit more easily. And the question is, if you were paying for this task to get done, who would you hire and how much would you pay? So, would you hire the VP of marketing to fine-tune those PowerPoint slides? Would you hire a CEO to do the initial screening for a middle management hire? Would you hire a director of operations to manage an appointment calendar? The answer is probably no. And when you do this, everybody loses. The organization overpays. You continue to be overworked, and the people who work for you don't get challenged in the ways that they need to be. My client? Well, once he realized what he was really paying in an hourly rate, in opportunity cost, and in his own suffering, he started to make some changes. It was a process, but he now works a more reasonable schedule using his unique and valuable skill set to have much greater impact. So when you look at everything you do each day, what tasks are you paying too much for because you're doing them yourself? What things would you never hire yourself to do? Let me know in the comments.